What's up, everybody? This is the Undefeated Sports Talk Show. I'm Tyler Hurst. I'm the host. Obviously, I'm on my own right now. We got guys who are sick. We got guys who are hurt. We got guys who just can't make it because, it's busy lives. But I'm your host. I'm going to be here every Friday, every Monday, like usual. Today, I'm just going to give you my NFL predictions. I want to let you know if OKC can turn their season around and actually make the playoffs because they have not looked too good, especially after losing to the Nets. That was not very. I was actually watching that game. They fell apart. They had a double-digit lead once again. They blew that, and then I also want to talk about the MVP right now. Who is leading the MVP race in the NBA? So to start out though, let's talk about the NFL predictions. I'm just going to go through these quick, guys. I'm going to touch on the Heisman real quick right after the NFL predictions. But we got another crazy week in the NFL. Just last night, Saints actually played Falcons. That was a game. I enjoyed watching that. What I noticed was that the Saints, they're an okay team without Alvin Kamara. You really realize how good Alvin Kamara is once he's out of the game. He really changes the Saints. He gives Mark Ingram the break when he needs it. He gives Drew Brees the check down when he needs it. And that Atlanta defense was just able to control the game ever since he went out. So really, that was the whole storyline. I mean, you had the Sean Payton incident on the sideline, and you had Sean Payton basically losing the game for the Saints at the end. Those were some issues you could talk about, but really, in my eyes, it was the injury of Alvin Kamara. I think if Alvin Kamara was there, I think Saints would have won this game by 4. I think it would have been the 24-20 score. But reality, this game could have went to overtime. Saints, they botched that first half field goal with the 4 seconds left after the Marshawn Lattimore interception with the illegal formation. And that really blew their opportunity to tie the game going into halftime. So let's get started with the NFL predictions coming up this Sunday, though. Colts at Bills, guys. It's pretty simple. We gotta go with the Bills. They're projecting Tyrod Taylor to start. Colts, they're the worst away team in the NFL this year. They just got smashed by the Jaguars, so they might be a little bit beat up. And the Bills, with Tyrod Taylor, I think are just gonna be too much at home for the Indianapolis Colts. Bears at Bengals. Let's be honest, guys. The Bears are just not that good. The offense is just passing up on Deshaun Watson, and you grab Mitchell Trubisky. I did not like that decision from the start, and it has not turned out well for the Bears either. Who's to say Deshaun Watson wouldn't have tore his ACL there at Chicago? He could still be healthy. So I just like the Bengals in this one. Yes, they have George Iloka out. Not sure on the status of Vontaze Perfect, but yeah, they just got beat up in that Steelers game. But still, the Bengals, I think, are just going to be too good for the Bears this game. Packers at Browns. Folks, be careful. This might be the Browns' first win. You're playing at home. You're in Cleveland. You are playing Green Bay, who does not have Rodgers. Hundley has not looked well passing the ball, so you could get an upset here. But I still like Green Bay in a really close game. I just think Hundley and Jamal Williams can do just enough to get Green Bay this win. Raiders at Chiefs. This is going to be a battle. Whatever team loses this, I think is out of the AFC West race. So I actually like the Chiefs in this one. The only reason why, though, guys, is they play at home. It's hard to win in Chiefs Kingdom. It's it's the second loudest stadium in the world. I like Kansas City in this one. Raiders, they struggle offensively. Sure, Chiefs are without Marcus Peters, but I think Mitchell's going to be able to stand up. So I like Kansas City. Cowboys at Giants. This is going to be an interesting game. The Giants this week have fired Ben McAdoo. They have fired Jerry Reese. The week before, Ben McAdoo sits Eli Manning, ruins his starting streak. So is Eli going to come out confident? Is he going to come out mad and he's going to want to play really good? Show the Giants fans he wants to still be the starter next year? Or are we going to get the same old Giants? Obviously, Cowboys beat them in the very first in the season opener this year. But I, guys, actually like the Giants in this one. You're playing in New York. It's cold. The Cowboys are not in their dome. Sure, it just snowed in Texas, but playing in New York compared to Dallas is a whole other story for Dallas. So I like New York in this one. I think Eli is going to play lots better now that he's back as starting quarterback. Lions at Bucks. Be careful if you choose the Lions. I'm going to go with the Lions. But the reason why I say be careful because the Bucks, Jameis Winston and Cameron Brate can be very dangerous. Those two hooked up twice against Green Bay and in that win, or in that overtime loss to Green Bay, excuse that. But I think Matt Stafford and the Lions pass rush can do enough to beat Jameis Winston and the Buccaneers. And I just think the Buccaneers defense has struggled at times this season when I thought it should be a lot better with Kwame Alexander, Levante David. I thought they could have been better. Niners at Texans. This game, it's hard to choose because these two teams have really done bad this season. But I got to go with the Houston Texans. Honestly, I had a hard time. Do I choose Jimmy G? Do I choose Tom Savage? Well, I have to go with Tom Savage. I just like his defense better than what the 49ers is at right now. The 49ers, they played last week in Chicago. You barely won that game. You won 15-14, and that was by all field goals. Jimmy G couldn't even get the 49ers in the end zone. So I got to go with the Texans at home. Vikings at Panthers. This is the game of the afternoon. This game's going to be played at 12. Let me tell you, Panthers is risky. I'm going Vikings on this one. Vikings, they're the hottest team in football right now. Case Keenum, he's in the MVP race for a reason, guys. He's fourth place. He's been playing tremendously. And then you got the Latavius Murray. He stepped up. Adam Thielen, he's spectacular this year. I did not see that coming. Xavier Rhodes, he can cover anybody. Did you not see what he did to Julio Jones with the Vikings-Falcons last week? I like Vikings in this one. I think Panthers are just going to have too much to deal with on the Vikings defensive side. Cam Newton's not going to be able to run like he usually is. He's going to have Anthony Barr chasing him down, Everson Griffin, Daniil Hunter. Those guys are all fast at their positions. I just think Vikings defense is going to be too much in this one. And Panthers, they're 2-5 at home. So they're 2-3 at home. I do not like that. They're just not a good home team this year, so I'm gonna go with Vikings. Jets at Denver. This game was hard. I like Denver. I like the defense that keeps Talib's back, but Jets offense has been really impressive, and they have impressed me. Jets know how to keep games close. They keep every game I've watched with the Jets, it's been close. They pulled out a close one against the Chiefs last week. I like the Jets in this one in Denver at Mile High. I usually don't go against Denver in Mile High, but Denver has looked absolutely horrible. They don't have a quarterback. Brock Osweiler is not your answer. You thought Simeon would do at least a better job. He throws 3 interceptions last week against the Dolphins, and Paxton Lynch is still not ready to go. No quarterback, no offensive line. Broncos are done. Jets in this one. Titans at Cardinals. You know I'm a Titans fan. You know this is a game a lot of people are actually saying Titans are going to lose. People have called Titans overrated, and they expect the Cardinals to win this one, and they expect Titans to go 10-6, still make the playoffs. But I still like the Titans in this one. It's not because they're my team. It's because I think the Titans have too many offensive weapons. Delaney Walker's healthy. Rashard Matthews is coming back. You have DeMarco Murray, Derrick Henry. And we all saw what Derrick Henry did in the final minute of that Houston-Texas game with that 75-yard run to seal the deal. And the defense, I think, Adoree Jackson, guys, he has been a huge surprise. He's been able to play on both sides of the ball. He's been able to cover the best. Antonio Brown, he's another guy to cover. But I think Adoree Jackson can at least keep up with Larry Fitzgerald. Can he get up to the height with him? Probably not. But as long as we just slow him down, I think the Titans are going to be fine. I think the Titans are going to win this one in a nail-biter. It's going to be really close. If you remember the Jaguars-Cardinals game, that came down to the very end. Cardinals won a game-winning field goal. It's going to be something like that, but I think the Titans win this one. Redskins at Chargers. this is going to be another good one. Redskins are really good away from home for some reason this season, but the Chargers have flipped their season. Remember when they were 1-4? If I got my facts straight, and now all of a sudden they're back to a winning. They're back to a 6-6. I like the Chargers. The Chargers in this one. Redskins, they're a good football team. I respect Kirk Cousins. He does really well for them. I actually think he's going to be leaving Washington at the end of the season because they're not going to give him his franchise tag. So I like the Chargers in this one, guys. I just think they're a better team than than what they are actually, what the record says they are. And Phillip Rivers, he's been playing lights out. Him and Keenan Allen have been hooking up consistently on the offensive side. Chargers. Eagles at Rams. This is the game of the week, everybody. I tell you what, Eagles, that's my choice. Eagles are going to bounce back, guys. They took a hard loss in Seattle, and everybody knows playing in the 12th man is one of the hardest things to do, and playing at the Coliseum in L.A., that's not very hard. Nobody cares to show up in the Coliseum in L.A. because there's too much to do in L.A. So I like the Eagles. They're going to bounce back. I just think their pass rush is going to be too much for Jared Goff. And we all know Jared Goff does not scramble out of the pocket. I like the Eagles. Seahawks at Jags. This could end up to be one of the games of the day, to be honest. Jaguars are at home. You know, they're not as good as at home as what they are away this season. But I'm still taking the Seahawks. Jaguars are going to lose a game at home. I think that's where all three, if they lose this one, 3 of their 5 losses would be at home. So I like the Jaguars. I like the Seahawks. Jaguars, they're really good defensively. I'm not doubting that. That is why when I talk about Tennessee, the Titans and the Jaguars, who's going to end up top of the division, I am not completely sure, but I put Tennessee just because Tennessee won the head-to-head, and I think obviously with the head-to-head wins, Tennessee's the better football team. But the Jaguars' defense is the number one in the NFL. But Russell Wilson, he's a special player. First ballot Hall of Famer, everybody. If you have not watched this guy once this year, this is a game to watch him because he's going to have that pass rush of Jacksonville, what's called Saxonville. Well, Russell Wilson's going to scramble out of that. He's just too good of a player, and he somehow makes a play. It's like going to a circus. He knows how to do things. So I like the Seahawks in this one. Ravens at Steelers. We all remember what happened Monday night with the Steelers visiting the Bengals. It got very ugly. It got violent. It was not a pretty game to watch. In a very scary incident, Ryan Shazier, it was actually not a bad hit. He just went head first, and we gotta be tackling better for football players. We can't just go on helmet first into the body. Always head up, guys. Always head up. And we're still praying for Ryan Shazier. We hope that he comes back to football. We're not sure what his decision is going to be once the doctor clears him to make that decision. But obviously, Juju Smith-Schuster is suspended for this game for his hit on Vontaze Burfict, the blindside hit. But I like the Steelers in this one, guys, still. I just think the Steelers, even without Ryan Shazier, Juju Smith-Schuster, 2 of their most important players. Ravens are just so up and down, and Ravens, they're not playing at home. A lot of Ravens losses are away games. I think Martavis Bryant's going to step up in this game. And Joe Flacco, he's dead last in the league at passing. I just think Steelers are going to control this. I like Steelers on Sunday Night Football. Patriots at Dolphins. Don't have to spend much time on this. It's Monday Night Football. Patriots, all it comes down to is quarterback and coach. Who has the best combination? Well, obviously, it's going to be the Patriots. I think Patriots are going to dominate this football game. It's not going to be a contest. Patriots, easily, Monday Night Football. Now, let's get to what I wanted to talk to and what the topic is about on this video. I always wait for the best in the middle because I'm getting warmed up. Boom, I'm there. And then I'm taking my cool down at the end. So let's get to it. OKC. Really? Really? You are 9th in the West. You aren't playing good defense in the 4th quarter. You're letting up 20 point. You have the most 20-point lead let-ups. That's the most in the NBA. You have a total of 5, including last night against the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets? Folks, remember when we came into this season expecting the Nets to be dead last? Obviously, they're not. But you expected OKC. Okay, so everybody comes into this season. Oh, how are the Rockets going to do? Or is Chris Paul and James Harden actually going to be... Are they actually going to work well together? How are they going to do? Yet everybody ignored Thunder. Everybody just expected, oh, Thunder, they're going to do great. You got Paul George, Russell Westbrook, Carmelo. Yeah, we remember Russell Westbrook, KD. These guys are going to do great. Actually, it's the other way around. Rockets are playing really well together. While the Thunder, they kind of look lost. They don't know who to pass to. They don't know if they should pass. They just need someone to take control. And that guy has to be Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook led him to the playoffs last season. You let him to play the Rockets. Obviously, it's hard to beat the Rockets by yourself if you're Russell Westbrook. But if you're Russell Westbrook, you take control. You let Paul George, Carmelo fall into place. Carmelo has even come out to say that he's hit his worst shooting drought he's ever experienced here in OKC. You got to fix it. It's no time for excuses if you're OKC. You have a really good basketball team, and yet you are 9th in the Western Conference. Sitting at 8th is the Utah Jazz, 2 games ahead of you. So you still gotta, and yeah, you got Utah Jazz coming up in the next two of the next 5 games, and you got to win those. If you lose those games, then I don't even know if OKC can even make the playoffs. Everybody, I like OKC. We're located right here in Lincoln, Nebraska. OKC is really our closest team, 6.5 hours away. So we cheer for them, and we just hope that they can get better. Right now, they're 6-9 in the West. 6-9. They're 2-10 on the road, and that's including last night a loss to the Nets. That did it for me. That is why this is the topic today. You lose to the Nets. You had a 17-point lead at one point, and you lose to the Nets. I think Carmelo summed it up perfectly. You know, the Nets played with the same pace the entire night. They played with the same intensity the entire night. OKC, that's why they lose. They don't. Nobody on OKC is taking the initiative in the final 5 minutes. That's what's the most irritating thing. You got Russell Westbrook averaging 23 points. Paul George, 20 points. Carmelo, 18 points. Okay, so you're all hitting. But what about the other players as well, guys? You pick up a Patrick Patterson to come off the bench. He has not done really anything. Steven Adams getting boards, that's all you need him to really do. Roberson, he's been all right. I think we could see better from him. Raymond Felton, he's done as much as he could do for Russell Westbrook. Other than that, OKC, the big three, they really have to figure it out. I have actually noticed with OKC, they tend to not care about these smaller teams like the Nets, the Magic, the Pacers. Yeah, Pacers are in the Eastern Conference right now, but they're not expected to be that good team, you know, if you guys know what I mean, like the Cavs of the East, the Celtics of the East. The Thunder really only try against the sub-500 teams, so the teams above 500. And that's what I really noticed, because if you remember they beat the Warriors, they manhandled the Warriors at their house, but then you lose to people like the Nets. That's just inexcusable. You lose to people like the Magic. And it's inexcusable. So here's their next 4 of their next 5 games. You play at the Knicks. Okay, well you should win that. The Knicks, they have Porzingis, which is at best second option. You should beat the Knicks. You got Denver at home. Denver without Paul Millsap, you have to beat. Jazz. Yes, Jazz are 8 seed. They're 1 seed ahead of you. So, Jazz aren't better than you. Who do the Jazz got? Donovan Mitchell, I tell you what, guys, he's been a stud. I'm going to get on to him while I talk about the MVP because he went up against my MVP vote last night, and he balled. But if you're Utah Jazz, you got Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert. They're expected not to be that good this year. How come you're not better than them? You have to beat them. You play them 2 of your next 5 games. You have to beat them if you're the OKC Thunder. I hate to say it because I don't want to. Because I like Melo as a player. I've always thought he's a really good offensive player. But it seems to me he has brought that Knicks poison to OKC. He's even said he's been in the shooting drought, like I said. And at the Knicks, he was losing. And now OKC, which was a above 500 team last season, is now a below 500 team and not in the playoffs, not nearly what they were last season. I believe this was just Paul George and Russell Westbrook. I think this team would be lots better. People are trying to compare it to like the Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, and that's the issue. Russell Westbrook really only had that. James Harden came off the bench. Carmelo's not coming off the bench, guys. That's the thing we have to realize. So I think if he just had Paul George, this team would be really lethal. It'd be really hard to stop. But to be honest, this team just has too many self-made players. What I mean by that, these guys always want the ball in their hand. Think about it. Paul George, he played at the Pacers before. What did he do? He always had the ball in his hands. He got the Pacers to 2 Eastern Conference Finals, so no problem with that. I respect Paul George with everything. Melo at the Knicks. He got him to 1 Eastern Conference Finals. Other than that, nothing else. He was a guy who always wanted the ball in his hands. That's Carmelo Anthony for you. And he's still, every time, if you guys watch OKC, every time Carmelo gets the ball, he rarely passes the ball. He takes a shot for himself. And then you also got Russell Westbrook. That's the guy who needs to take control. To be the winning team OKC once was, Russell Westbrook needs to get back to what he was doing before these two guys came abroad. So that is my solution to OKC. I think OKC gets in at 8th seed, to be honest with you. Because once the Nuggets get back, Paul Millsap, I think they're still going to get 7th seed. They're young. And the bad thing is, they're really young people. Give them about 4 years with the Thunder. When the Warriors break up, I think Nuggets are going to be the team to watch out for. But, yeah, I think right now 8th seed is looking at the best for the OKC Thunder. They really have to turn it around. I know we're only 25 games into the season, but I have not seen much from the Thunder that can that makes me say, yeah, they're going to consistently win. All they're telling me is they're going to win this game, and they're probably going to lose this next game. They'll probably win this other one, but then they're going to lose this other one. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean about the Thunder. They just got to be more consistent, and they need someone to take control. And I think it's about time for Billy Donovan to step down or be let go by the Thunder. He's a college coach. He's a tremendous college coach. Don't get me wrong. Billy Donovan, he can coach. He can coach. I don't remember if you guys remember when he was back in Florida, but he led them to multiple March Madness runs. So I think he should just go back to college. So now let's move on to the best player in the league, who I think is the MVP right now in the NBA. There's multiple people you could choose out of in the NBA right now. But I have 3 guys in mind. I got a 4th that I'll tell you guys who everybody else is talking about, but I'll tell you why not. But let me start out with my MVP. It has to be James Harden. It has to be. Who else are you going to put as MVP of the league right now? You could put LeBron. LeBron's my runner-up right now. But when I look at MVP, guys, I don't go by just stats. I go also by how are they leading their team? Is their team at the top of the division? Are they on top of the conference? What's their record? What's their record in the entire NBA over the entire span of the NBA? Rockets, 4 losses. Chris Paul, he hasn't really scored much, but when he does, it's effective. He's mainly there for an assist. But James Harden is averaging 31.6 points per game, 9.4 assists per game. That's second behind Russell Westbrook. So he's almost leading two different things right now in the NBA, 25 games in. Now, MVP is predominantly given to the player who's playing the best offense, right? Okay, so that is why James Harden is the league MVP right now. He has his team at the best record. He's doing to me he's playing the best in the Western Conference, which is obviously the harder of the two. The thing is with James Harden is people always question him, can he keep it up in the playoffs? Because obviously in previous instances he has not. He has been absolutely horrible in the playoffs, but and that's always been his downfall. But I think James Harden keeps it up in the playoffs this year because he has help. Last season, obviously, against San Antonio, he didn't have no help. He got tired. It wasn't James Harden in Game 6, obviously. Everybody knows that. He was, I think, 1 for 7. It looked like he did not care to be out there. He was sick of it. He was tired. I mean, he even went to a strip club after. So, but right now, James Harden, he looks like the best player in the league. He actually went up against Donovan Mitchell last night, guys. He's special. I just said this, but he is a special player. He's just a rookie, but night in and night out, this dude is balling. He is putting in work. He is creating the best shots for his team. He's averaging 17.5 points per game. No big deal. That is a big deal for a rookie right now. Playing for the Utah Jazz. He has the Jazz right now in the playoff spot. So, and he has a great asset to help him out, Rudy Gobert. So I really like what Donovan Mitchell's been doing. So when it comes to Rookie of the Year, I think it can become between Donovan Mitchell right now and Ben Simmons. I think Ben Simmons has it right now. That dude, if he can fix his shot, Ben Simmons will be the next superstar in the league. But yeah, I had to point out Donovan Mitchell though real quick. But here's why I have LeBron as second in my MVP race. Right now he has the Cavaliers on a 13-game winning streak. Probably going to be a 14-game winning streak. And probably be 15. And so on and so on. They could, as far as I know, they can get up to 18. Their schedule's easy from there. But LeBron, without a doubt, you can ask anybody, who would you take on your team right now in the NBA? Guarantee you everybody says LeBron James because he is the king and he is the best in the NBA right now. But everybody started to question his last second shot. Hey, LeBron, why do you pass that ball? Why do you pass it? Well, guess what, folks? He has not passed the ball lately. He has taken this. It's like he's taken that personal. He has made 3 game-winning shots in this 13-game winning streak. All in clutch time situations with the step-back 3. He has made 3 out of the 13. LeBron has put his team on his back and carried the Cavaliers to be right behind the Celtics just like that. LeBron James is a one-of-a-kind. He is in his 15th year and still getting better. If that does not scare you, I don't know what does. LeBron right now is averaging 28 points per game, 8.6 assists, and 8 rebounds. You pretty much say 28, 9, and 8 if you round. LeBron James, he absolutely looks the best he ever has. It has been the best he's ever played in his first 25 games of a season. Throughout his entire career, this is the best he's ever played. He has been absolutely outstanding. I try to watch him every single time I get a chance. This dude is special. LeBron James buys a house in L.A. Wants everybody to talk about him going to L.A. He's not going to L.A. He's not going to go there unless Lonzo Ball can fix it. LeBron James, he's second in MVP right now to me. James Harden deserves to be number 1. Then LeBron James. My third, guys, is Antetokounmpo. He's not really been talked about much lately. His team's kind of fallen off the ledge a little bit. They if you remember, they're a 5-2, 4-2, and they went 6-6, and not 100% sure right now, but right now Antetokounmpo, he's still averaging 29 points per game, 10 rebounds a game, so he's still getting a double-double, which is absolutely impressive. But due to that record and what he does to make his team better, I don't think he does as much as James Harden and LeBron James as facilitating the ball, because I've noticed a lot with Antetokounmpo when I watch the Bucks. I just watched them the other night when they were playing the Raptors. That when he gets the ball in his hands, he's kind of just a more drive type guy. I'm gonna drive you. I'm gonna post you. If I get the dunk, I get the dunk. If I don't, I'm gonna hook shot it on you. Probably gonna make it. So I still like Antetokounmpo. He could be the next LeBron James easily if he can get a shot down. Another guy that guys have been talking about is Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is fourth on my list, and I still debate that as being fourth because I give this Celtics credit to Brad Stevens. Brad Stevens, absolutely tremendous job. I give that dude a round of applause because you lose Gordon Hayward your first game. Sad injury. Obviously, Gordon Hayward's fighting his way back. Could have him back in the playoffs. But you lose Gordon Hayward your first game. You lose 2 straight. And now you only have a total of 4 losses on the season. Your team's a bunch of averages, except Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving's above average, obviously. He's a champion. But Brad Stevens, I tell you what, guys, he has the Celtics where I don't think anybody saw us. I think coming into the season, a lot of people were saying Celtics 4th, 5th seed. I know I was calling him 4th seed. But Brad Stevens, he can coach. He's coached his team defensively. He's coached them offensively. Kyrie Irving's been playing non-selfish basketball. It's been tremendous to watch what these Celtics can do. That is why I put Brad Stevens having more power over Kyrie. That's why Kyrie's 4th in my MVP, because I think Brad Stevens can easily win Coach of the Year this year, doing what he has done. So let me re-go through my top 4. I got James Harden, number 1 at MVP. He's great at facilitating. He's been an offensive machine. LeBron's at number 2. Led the Cavs to a 14-game winning streak. He has been absolutely insane. Nobody looks like they can stop him anytime soon. Antetokounmpo's at number 3. Still averaging a double-double. Bucks record's not where they want to be. But Antetokounmpo in that double-double, that's impressive. How can you not have him as number 3? Kyrie Irving is at my number 4. Remember, I like Brad Stevens. Just because I like Brad Stevens because he can coach really well, so I'd take the credit away from Kyrie a little bit. But Kyrie has been sensational this season, doing things I did not think the Celtics could do. So that is the last word. Remember, everybody, subscribe to our YouTube page. Monday, we're going to be giving bowl game predictions. Obviously, we did not do it today. We were planning on it, but everybody is gone besides me. I'm going to be here every Monday, Friday, without a doubt. I'm the host. I control this show. So subscribe to this channel, Tyler Hurst. Give us a shout out if you like this video. And if you did like this video, make sure you hit that like button. The more like buttons people see, obviously, the better. And if you want to see messages, get live updates, go to our Facebook page at Undefeated Sports Talk Show. A lot of times we have polls going on there. We have updates or Facebook posts of what we thought about something. And we also post all our videos on there as well. So just remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I guess I will definitely see you Monday for the bowl game predictions, college football. And we will be talking about more NBA and NFL. So stay tuned. Talk to you later, guys. Peace out.